Michael Persh, good afternoon.
Hi, it's Michael there, please.
Yeah, it's Michael speaking.
Hi, it's Mark who's not calling. I believe I'm doing a photo with you.
Hi Mark, how you doing mate? Great to talk to you.
Yeah, no worries.
It's great to have you coming back to Adelaide.
Always great.
Last time I think you were here was the Fringe Festival. You did a solo acoustic show, which was fantastic, I recall.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, that Fringe tent is pretty special. And I've played in that Spiegel tent in other parts of the country. The Adelaide one seems to really, blow the doors off every other one I've done. So that's a cool thing.
One thing that I guess people that have seen you do that, but one thing that I came away from that gig with was just how intense it was. When people say they're doing a solo acoustic gig, a Deisel solo acoustic gig is not a laid back thing. A Deisel solo acoustic gig rocks.
Oh, thanks. Well, I guess I've done so much with the band around me that when the band's not around me, I'm still sort of thinking that mode, and it's still like it's kind of an imaginary thing around me, and I just play to what I'm feeling, and sort of the audience kind of. It's definitely a different dynamic because I feel more connected, in many ways to an audience in that situation. I guess because there isn't so much of a wall of sound and distractions around me. I'm just, very much have become at one with the people in the room. So when that happens, it's pretty cool. Yeah, because it's very, very pure.
It's also a testament to how good your tunes are because they work so well in that format.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, that's, when you strip everything back down, you're kind of left with nothing else but the song to kind of lean on. And I have to say, I do lean on, the song to kind of bring, strength to the performance because, it's really, at the end of the day, that's all you've got. Just make the most of what the melody is and bring out, the really strong points because you don't have all those little trappings and the little sounds and the production, obviously because it's one person, so you just lean on the song.
And you're coming back to see us at Norwood Live on October the 22nd and 23rd, and 7 acts to grind tour. So tell us about that. It sounds fascinating.
Well, we've made a record recently, and kind of wasn't really planned this way, but we kind of started doing some shows called Under the Influence, just in Sydney and Newcastle, and it was basically an excuse for me to play my influences in a show of the people that have really influenced me, like Jimi Hendrix and Al Green and Otis Redding, Neil Young, Bob Dylan, monumental sort of artists to me, and I mean there's so much that has influenced me, but those are ones that I just kind of really thought this will be fun because they've got massive catalogues, and so we did that, series 1 and 2 of that, and then the idea was to make a record of that, which we just did, and this 7 acts is basically kind of a continuation of the celebration of guitar and my music and how the guitar has influenced my writing. Different guitars have influenced my writing, I should say, and different instruments, stringed instruments. So, it's even though it's a 7 axis to grind is the logo, and this, I think you can see on the artwork it's got 7 Flying V electric guitars, but in the actuality I'll be taking all different string instruments with me on the road because they've all had a part in the making of the music that I've made so far.
Sounds like it's going to be a fantastic thing indeed. And one of the things I remember from guitar-wise from the last time I saw you play was the acoustic guitar you used for most of the gig. And I can't remember what it was, but it had such a tiny body. It was a really small guitar. What was that?
Well, they're 3/4 size, so everything's sort of in proportion, but it's a 3/4 scale. So they're basically kind of what they used to call in the 20s and 30s a parlor guitar. People would sit around their parlors and play them, and yeah, they were smaller bodies, so a little bit more comfortable to have around the house. And yeah, I mean, Maiden started, I should say, the form was that Maiden started making these as a travel guitar
very cool indeed. You mentioned your influences, Mark, before, and the last recording that folks heard from you was Saturday Suffering Fools, the Blues Project, which I loved the first one you did with Chris Wilson. That was just such a magic recording, and it still sounds good. But the follow up was equally as good. You've really, I guess, in those two CDs captured the essence of the blues, but brought it to a sound that doesn't sound dated, and it's got an Australianness about it that I can't put my finger on. But a lot of American blues has, I guess, we don't have that blues tradition, and blues music that comes out of Australia just seems a lot freer and a lot fresher.
I think so. I agree. I think it also has a bit more of a raw thing to it, and unfortunately, a lot of the records that come from overseas, blues-wise, I think, you probably find bluesier, more, rawer stuff, coming out of Mali or something in Africa than you would out of, parts of America or Europe. I just think it gets a little bit too produced sometimes, and the Australian sort of tradition is to, rough things up a bit, so, it's kind of makes sense that we make a decent blues album down here, which I think we have. We have a history of right back to like Phil Manning and Shane, and probably even before that. So it's a great thing to be able to kind of keep that kind of going. Because when I think of blues, I don't think of like really polished sounding records. But I mean, having said that, sonically, those two records that you just mentioned, Short Cool Ones and Saturday Suffering Fools, I'm very, very happy with the way they sound. They sound like a blues record to me. That's for sure.
And so the new recordings from the Seven Axes to Grind, we'll see them after Christmas, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's finished, but I haven't mixed it yet. And as things go, I'd probably be finished mixing at the end of October. We're going down to Melbourne to mix it down there. And but as you know, silly season kicks in, and it's not a good time to be trying to get things to people, especially in the music industry. Everyone sort of leaves their desks, so we'll wait till things go back to slightly normal conditions in the early year, and it'll be good. In the meantime, we've got this tour, so it all kind of goes in the right order.
A nice little teaser for folks to see the tour before the.
Well, it gives me an excuse to go out and on this tour I get to play a little bit of Jimi Hendrix, being that he's such a massive influence on my guitar, and that having a Stratocaster with me is one of the guitars. I'm not going to give away too much, but the Fender Stratocaster is definitely going to be with the Seven Axes, and I can't imagine not knowing about Jimi or playing a Stratocaster for that matter, if it wasn't for Jimi, I should say, because that kind of really so that sort of that was the deal cleanse when I was given a Stratocaster as kind of an accident by somebody, and then I started listening to Hendrix and was like, oh, now I get it, now I know what this instrument can do. Sort of, I wouldn't have had any idea probably. So
it is amazing, even now after all this time, that kids still their ears still prick up when they hear Jimi Hendrix. It really is a testament to just how he changed the world.
I think so. I mean, a couple of months ago, sitting on an airplane, and they released the Valleys of Neptune video, which is, obviously he's in it, but he didn't make the video. It's all kind of posthumous bits and pieces, but it was done really, really well. And it's amazing that I noticed even on the airplane, people were like looking at the screen. It's got everyone's attention, and thought this guy's still got so much potency after 40-something years or something. It's incredible. Like, it's timeless, and it's very sad that he died at so young. But it's just incredible that he did so much in that time, and still just rocks the whole planet. When we release a record, it still rocks the planet.
It is amazing. On the subject of guitar players, I stumbled across something when I knew I was going to have a chat to you today that had passed me by, and it just blew me away when I read it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you fill in for, I thought, at least one gig with Deisel Sept on the Zappa Play Zappa tour back in 2009?
Yes, I did actually. 2007 and
Okay.
2009 was invited up to play some stuff, and the last one
Frank Zappa was one of the few people that could make a Gibson SG sing, indeed.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he just, he had that tone that no one else has had out of an SG. It was really astounding. And he loved the blues, and so does Deisel. So, that's why I guess, he likes to have me up because, that's kind of where I come from. So it's nice to be, useful for something in that situation because, the virtuosity on that stage is just unbelievable. That's all I can say.
I saw the tour in Adelaide, and I agree, it was just unbelievable. And I was blown away to find out that you'd jumped up with the guys. I would have loved to have seen that. It must have been a lot of fun indeed.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Deisel and I go back, to 1989. We met in Ibiza, of all places in Spain. We were both over there for this MTV thing, and we met the whole family, and we just became friends after that. And he's a really, really good guy, unaffected by, as you can imagine, being brought up in Hollywood and everything. He's just really, really cool. And people like Eddie Van Halen, and it's kind of like his uncle teaching guitar when he was a kid, sort of thing. It's pretty bizarre. But that's what you get when you Frank Zappa's son growing up in LA, I suppose.
One damn fine guitar player he is. I think the Zappa Plays Zappa thing has made the world notice what a fine guitar player he is in his own right.
Absolutely, and I think it's just a beautiful thing that he's done, to kind of keep the legacy of his dad's music going, and he's put, I can only begin to tell you how much, time and effort he's put into doing that. He spent literally a whole year just learning all the parts, and he still has to practice every day to keep it all going, in his head. He's that's dedication, and that's, it's a love thing, obviously. It's his dad, and when you see the screen, I don't know if they had that at the concert you saw, but they had the screen.
Yes.
He actually plays with his dad, and they've got the master tapes, and his dad's playing, and then he plays with him. Through the power of technology, they can do that these days, and it's pretty moving, to see the father and son thing like that.
There was dudes sitting in the audience in Adelaide actually in tears when that was on. It was really amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's that kind of thing can be really cheesy, or it can be really cool.
Yeah, indeed, and it worked very well. Well, the 7 Axes to Grind, Mark, is going to be another guitar a guitar milestone in Australia, indeed. And I'm looking forward to the show, and I'm sure folks in Adelaide will be there with bells on, mate. It's always a pleasure to say hello, and we look forward to seeing you.
Well, it's a great venue for it, and we've had some good times there of recent. So come along. It's going to be a 2-part show, so it'll be fun.
It will be indeed. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much for your time. Pleasure to say hello. Take care.
Yeah, mate. No worries. Thanks for your time today.
Cheers. See you soon.
Cheers, buddy.
Bye-bye.